Robert Heffernan, Endotech Analytics, streaming live exclusively for Pareto token holders. Sunday night, March 4th, March 5th in Asia, right? Cryptos never sleep. Monday morning, happy Monday morning in Asia. And I'm going to spend some time today. I don't even think we need to do the rounds today, as a matter of fact, because I want to spend more time on some weekly levels and my thoughts about that fractal, looking at a daily set of numbers and then what the weekly numbers are, and kind of how I build my mindset and my trade around those two different time frames, dailies into weeklies. Okay, so let's get right to it and take the vitals. Taking the vitals, we do this every day. It gives us our bearings to the relative health or weakness of whatever crypto asset we're looking at. And let's just jump right in. Bitcoin right now trading 11,420. In up momentum, you see that up momentum level 10,963. Again, I'm working levels on a daily basis. I'm long Bitcoin, and I'm looking to take at least half of my position off on those collar levels. The UMC up momentum collar today at 13,259. And again, collars are great levels to take profit. You just have to be taking profit over your trading career. More agony over beautifully profitable trades that were never realized because you never pulled the trigger on the exit. So have profit targets working. Let the market take you out of it. There was a saying on the floor on how guys got so rich is because they got out too early. And that really bears some weight that you have to be taking profit on a continual basis, especially if you're day trading these things. Has to be part of your mindset. Value range 11,091 to 11,344. And the one thing I wanted to mention about the weekly fractal is how small the weekly range has been, and I'm going to get to that when we look at Ethereum. But for Bitcoin, let's keep talking Bitcoin. So I'm long it. One thing about this Bitcoin chart, when you go to the weekly fractal, 7 weeks in a row now, 7 weeks in a row below that center line on the weekly, and Bitcoin coming in at 12,200 this week. So for me, I really need to see Bitcoin shake a leg here and retake that weekly average. Spending 2 months underneath the average is not going to be good long term for the relative strength of Bitcoin. So on the daily basis, as you see, we're in up momentum. It's looking good. Really want to see it continue making higher highs. When you jump out to that weekly fractal, it's just getting back to that weekly centerline or average area, which is 12,200. And I really need to see it for me to be a long-term bull on this asset, that it has to take that average out. And if it can, you got room up to 15,000 is the weekly up momentum level. The weekly collar on the upside up at 20,500. So a lot of room, a lot of potential in the market to the upside. Again, I always keep going over in my head what are the potentials both ways. All right, you got to play a little bit of a devil's advocate in these things. If it can't retake this average, and we trade lower this week, lower momentum is 9,453 on the weekly chart. 9,453, which is not out of the realm of possibilities. That center line 9,800 on a 15. It starts rolling over, especially if this thing trades out of up momentum on the daily. Because of where it is on the weekly, I will flatten up. All right, we've only had 3 days now in up momentum. Really want to see it continue with this up momentum and take that weekly average out. If it doesn't and it starts rolling over, I really think that 94.53 is the weekly momentum number to the downside, and then you got room to around the $4,000 area to the weekly collar. again, people might say $4,000. What are you, out of your mind? Bitcoin ain't going there. And I don't want to argue with you about it. All right. All I'm telling you is what the potential in the market is. Okay. And it's not right or wrong. It's just over the years that I've watched these things, whether it be corn, soybeans, hogs, cattle, S&Ps, euro yen. I spent time in the euro yen, Mexican pesos. I traded a lot of things, man. You know, I've been everywhere, man, like Johnny Cash. And one thing has been constant. If you pay attention to the potentials in the market, it's very rare that that person gets dragged out or is sitting on the side of a pit crying because they've lost everything. You have to pay attention to the potentials in the market and what the current market pricing is telling you about the relative health or weakness of that particular asset. All right. Let's go on to Ethereum, trading 864. If you've been watching here, you know, we've been just sitting right around that daily average there. Daily average today, 854. Tiny value range, 852 to 865. In fact, the whole of last week, the range was 896 to 834. Ethereum hasn't put that small of a weekly range in. Honestly, when I was looking at, since they were trading back in the $300 to $400 range area. So a tiny, tiny range at Ethereum this week. A lot of times I look at that as a rest for something more explosive to happen, all right? Because that is very, very out of the norm, that small of a trading range. So let's go to the weeklies. Weekly average 895, so trading just below the weekly average, but we've only been there for we haven't closed many weeks below the average in Ethereum. But again, you really want to see it retake that average level. The lower momentum in Ethereum, 724 this week. Lower momentum collar, 381. On the upside, if they can take out 895, first of all, they got to gain the up momentum on the daily before we're going to gain the up momentum on the weekly. That'll be the first sign of longer term momentum in Ethereum. If you look on the chart today, on the sheet, 882 on the daily. We can gain some momentum. You got room up to 10,000 or 1,067 is the up mo on the weekly, 1,067. So you see how, in my mindset, or the way I look at it, is like, what is the daily telling me? Where does that possibly push you on the weekly level? And those levels, they just kind of work in and around each other. All right. We noticed today that XRP strong today, Ripple. So let's talk Ripple from a daily perspective first. All right, trading 99.59, right around that $1 area, has retaken up momentum. 98.83 is up mo, room to $1.10 on the daily. Ripple, like not many other than Bitcoin, able to gain its up momentum level. Okay, Ripple. And if we look at Ripple's weekly, all right, the average $1.27. And again, so looking at weekly averages or center lines where a lot of these coins are still below their weekly averages. If you really think these things are going to, gain a lot of strength or take off, or attempt at rematching the highs that they've made, the first stop is that weekly average. You got to get above the weekly average. So $1.27 in Ripple. And again, this one makes me a little bit nervous because several weeks now below the average. Lower momentum on the weekly in Ripple is at 73 cents. If this thing rolls over, I keep that in mind, where those levels are. Through $1.27, up momentum in Ripple at $1.82, and room on the weekly chart to 290. Perspective, again, what are the potentials in the market? But Ripple, for right now, back in up mo on the daily, room to $1.10 today. And I really think if this thing is going to be a longer term bull or success, we really need to go check out that $1.27 level on the weekly, that weekly average. Love to see it go there and love to see it close the week above $1.27. All right, that's how I kind of build my longer term trading strategies in these things. Uh, I did a exercise or a segment very early in on the Pareto network and the importance of understanding your place in the market. And that really, really, really is important. Are you day trading these? Are you investing? Are you looking at a daily time frame, a weekly time frame? Exactly how are you interacting with the market? And I'm telling you right now, the biggest hurdle to your success is to be wishy-washy about that. You need to define what your system is, what time horizons you're looking at, how you enter markets, what your risk levels are, how you exit markets. You need, if you want to be a long-term successful trader, to start building your personal methodology, what you does. And you know what? It's really simple to do because the cause and effect is when I do this, the result is that, and that's just money. That's just profit. All right. I love trading commodities and being on the floor because, somebody's trading system was defined by how much money they made. It's not, it looked good. It's not that it sounded good. It's no, man, they had entrances and stops and profits that made somebody money. All right. And so that's what you want to, aspire to, creating that trading methodology that makes you money. You're not in this, from a trading and actionable trading perspective, you're not in this for any other reason. All right. The blockchain is a different story, and supporting things that are going to reshape humanity. That's fine. You can invest in those type of things, but from an actionable trading standpoint, uh, dollars made, the value of that portfolio is the only thing that matters. All right, so those are the some of the weeklies on these coins. Again, as Endotech brings forth its AI and ML interface, uh, it will have a technical analysis component to it, and dailies and weekly sheets will be available on these currencies in that section. All right, looking forward for that to come to the marketplace, and it will be happening in the next month. So stay tuned for that eventuality. It is coming, man. It is coming. All right, you guys have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Happy Monday to my friends in Asia, and we will see you tomorrow for Blockchain Vitals.